One of the most anticipated films of the year is Batman. Batman is returning to his street-level roots after witnessing him face extraterrestrial life in films like Justice League. Matt Reeves, best known for Cloverfield and Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, will direct the next dark and violent take on the Caped Crusader. The picture, starring Robert Pattinson, will follow Batman as he navigates the politics and crimes of Gotham as a vigilante in his early days. Zoe Kravitz, who is being cast as Catwoman by Matt Reeves, will join Robert Pattinson in the following DC film. In the teasers, we saw Kravitz Selina Kyle dressed up as the villain, showing off her basic, minimalistic costume. Empire magazine has revealed a new shot of Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman ahead of the film's March premiere. Selina Kyle, played by Zoe Kravitz, is shown in the still as Catwoman, breaking into something or somewhere with a tool. Zoe Kravitz previewed her interpretation of Catwoman in an interview with the magazine. Catwoman's visual flair and fighting technique were pinpointed by Kravitz and stunt supervisor Rob Alonzo after they examined videos of cats and lions fighting. We watched cats and lions and how they fight and talked about what is actually possible when you're my size. And Batman's so much stronger than me. What is my skill? It's fast and tricky, so we did some really interesting floor work that incorporated different kinds of martial arts and capoeira and a kind of feline dance-like movement. Rob's not just trying to do a bunch of impressive backflips. That wouldn't be possible for that person to do. And he takes into account where we are in the story and where the characters are emotionally. So it was really fun to work from that place. Zoe Kravitz explains that the Batman nearly acts as an origin narrative for the character, revealing how involved Selina Kyle is in Catwoman's profession. This is consistent with Bruce Wayne's second year as a criminal. This is an origin story film for Selina, so it's the beginning of her figuring out who she is, beyond just someone trying to survive. I think there's a lot of space to grow, and I think we are watching her become what I'm sure will be the femme fatale. Here's a short synopsis about the movie. Bruce Wayne has been dragged deep into the shadows of Gotham City after 2 years of haunting the streets as Batman, instilling terror in the hearts of criminals. The lone vigilante has positioned himself as the single incarnation of vengeance among his fellow inhabitants, with just a few trusted supporters, Alfred Pennyworth and Lieutenant James Gordon, amid the city's corrupt network of politicians and high-profile personalities. A trail of cryptic clues leads the world's greatest detective on an investigation into the underworld, where he meets characters like Selina Kyle, aka Catwoman, Oswald Cobblepot, also known as the Penguin, Carmine Falcone, and Edward Nashton, also known as the Riddler, when a killer targets Gotham's elite with a series of sadistic machinations. Batman must develop new alliances, identify the culprit, and deliver justice to the abuse of power and corruption that has long plagued Gotham City as the evidence trail continues to get closer to home. Aside from the synopsis, we know you also want to know more about the movie. So here's a few things you might need to know. Here's what we know about Catwoman and Batman's relationship in this movie. Batman refers to her as Selina, and she makes a number of cat references. I have a thing with strays, she says, when Batman comments that she has a lot of cats, and she believes she has 9 lives. In addition, she feels that the term the bat and the cat has a nice ring. However, as seen by the teaser, Batman and Catwoman's relationship looks to be exceedingly complicated. Always looking for a kiss, they appear to be flirting with each other, and everything she says to him signals she's flirting. But in one moment, Alfred asks him whether he has a new pal, to which he answers, "I'm not sure." On the other hand, the relationship between these two is clearly an important side narrative in The Batman. Of course, this form of engagement makes sense and is in line with the comics. Irresponsible characters like Batman and Catwoman are meant to be. They aren't always the best at keeping good relationships with others. The combination creates so much confusion, even a painful scenario in which we all know they both like each other, yet they refuse to completely commit to one another. creating profoundly baffling and sad situations. Did you know Robert Pattinson almost didn't end up as Batman? After Ben Affleck's departure, there was no news regarding casting for the role for a long time, and it's been a bumpy quest for the next Batman. Oscar Isaac was linked to the part, but he later refuted the rumors, claiming that he would be willing to take it on if it was offered to him. Armie Hammer, a fan favorite for the role, was also considered at one point. However, considering his age and busy schedule, doesn't look like he'll be donning the cape and cowl anytime soon. Then in May 2019, filmmaker Matt Reeves' Batman wishlist included Robert Pattinson and Nicholas Hoult, who played Beast in the X-Men movie. Although Pattinson was cast as Batman a few weeks later after a lot of backlash on social media. The Batman 2022 will be having its own origin story. The Batman, on the other hand, isn't going to be a retelling of a well-known origin story. I wanted to do not an origin tale, but a tale that would still acknowledge his origins in that it formed who he is. Director Matt Reeves stated in an interview with The Nerdist, "What proof do you have for that strategy? It's best visible in the Batsuit teaser, which features what looks to be a Batman logo formed from gun components. What if this is the same weapon that killed Bruce's parents in Crime Alley?" 3 comic books that inspired the film have also been revealed. Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale's Batman The Long Halloween, Darwin Cook's Batman Ego and Other Tales, and Frank Miller and David Mazzucchelli's Batman Year One are among them. Year One is an origin narrative for both Batman and Catwoman that concerns corruptions in the GCPD, while The Long Halloween is a detective story with a wide range of antagonists. While Bruce tries to retire as Batman, Ego sees him split his psyche between man and vigilante. Bruce's sentiments about his failings are revealed when both parts of his personality participate in a dispute. These elements appear to be in accordance with what the teaser video suggests: a gloomy, psychological, and grounded detective story. We can also expect an emotional connection between Alfred and Bruce. Alfred, actor Andy Serkis told LAD Bible, that's really at the center of it. Number 1. The director's inspiration for the movie was from a rock star. In December 2021, Reeves told Empire, "When I write, I listen to music. And when I was writing the first act, I put on Nirvana's Something in the Way. Instead of making Bruce Wayne the Playboy version we've seen previously, I realized there was another Bruce Wayne who had suffered a huge sorrow and had become a hermit. The concept of this fictitious Kurt Cobain living in this type of crumbling house appealed to me. So I started drawing this comparison to Gus Van Sant's Last Days." The director added that Pattinson had the Kurt Cobain thing where he looks like a rock star, but you also feel like he could be a recluse. Which of these facts were new to you, and which one shocked you the most? Let us know in the comment section down below. We hope you guys liked this video. Stay tuned for more. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.